Oh, you alone me see now, let me see again,
Live, we live. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so Peter, check your end. You on? We on?
Yeah, I see my come just see you away,
No, I mean we live, we live.
Oh, my bad.
Yes, I Daddy Jones. There. Yeah. I'll just let the people know straight up. We were talking for maybe like 5-10 minutes, and you explaining how you feel good that you inspire other people to move on to other, they real calling, you know what I mean? And I glad that I like to hear people like you like give people their credit, because you did a lot for VI music. You did a lot for music on a whole. So for you to turn around and say, you know what, I like the fact that I helped somebody more than what I accomplished, man. I respect that about you, man.
A whole lot. Trust me. To be honest with you, when I look and see at, let's take for instance our city success.
Yeah.
That makes me feel successful because I work with these men, you know what I mean? These men was around the block, these man been in my studio, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel to myself, regardless it might have been small or what the case be, that's part of my culture, you understand? And I love protecting that. And Garth City is one of the best set of writers that we've ever known, right for the Virgin Islands.
Big time.
It does for everybody. I mean, I could be calling names. Trust what I tell you. That was the plan. That was the major plan to get our music to be heard of. I want our music to be respected as a genre. That's what I want. That's what I want it to be, a genre. You can't say, oh, even if it is for the Virgin Island music, don't matter to me. I want it to be a genre. Not no other.
Exactly.
No like nothing. What the case be, and that's been my goal.
Yeah.
Genre.
Yeah, man. So let me start with this, man. How did you start playing keyboard?
My dad used to live with us, and my dad had went to the States to pursue his at the time. My dad is Alwyn Baptiste. He was dealing with Express. Back up for Mighty Sparrow. He has done the world over, and enough respect. Al has put me in the place I am today. I so much wanted to be like my father. If my father was a dentist, we'd have been talking about dentistry today. This conversation about dentistry. If he was a cricket player, we're talking about cricket today. You understand? So I just wanted to be like him. I wanted to walk like him. I wanted to look like him. I wanted my hands to look like him. Now, it was that emotional. Yeah. So keyboards always around the house. Always make sure of it. Go there and I play with the case. And he used to tell me all the time. He said it was like automatic. He don't know what it is I was going to do. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be like him. And so like he started to travel and he started to tour. And before he did, he took me to a music class. I went to the music class maybe 2 weeks. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it because of what was going on with me as a child at the time.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I had a conversation with him, and he was just telling me, listen, you know what? You need to learn your skills. Work on your skills. Work on your skills. When you work your skills, everything is going to be fine. Just work that. Mm-hmm. So it moved on. But to be honest with you, as much as I love the keyboard and what the keyboard does, I'm always going to be known as a rhythm man. That's what I am. That's where I get my strong point. But I needed the foundation of the keyboards to get me to that point, to understand things, you know. So from then it just started to move, and then when I was about maybe I think I had about 12 or 13, I had a little Casio white keyboard. I used to walk with it and go to school with it and stuff, like a big thing. I used to Mary Mary Jumping Up. That was my favorite song, 17 plus. I was walking around the school playing that. So some guys came to me and the guy said, listen, man, hey, we want to form a band, man. He said, what? I said, yeah, we want to form a band. We want you to come on and join this band. So I said, okay, no problem. And I said, okay, we up by the ballpark this afternoon, and then we're gonna sit down. So I said, okay. All this time I really and surely you know what to think, what to expect, what to see, what I didn't even know. But I went anyway. Went to my little Casio. When I got there, we've been in the dugout of the softball field. When I got there, there's about maybe 50 biscuit pan. All sizes, all whole. And a bunch of man, everybody got sticks. The man said, yeah, listen. So we want you in this band here. So the man said, the man put me in the middle of all the sticks, all the drums, and I said, okay, play something. So like I said at the time, Mary Jumping Up was my thing. So I played pam, 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 pam. The man said, listen, hey, you bad. You in. I was really nice to guys, named Generation Band, which was actually the first band. The man contacted me and decided that the man wanted to actually take it serious.
Yeah.
So I went by them and that's how I really got started. I got started as really a keyboard man. Actually, I didn't do drum machine with Generation until like maybe like later on. So
because I knew about Generation from my neighbor. Craig Matthews was his name, Matthew family. And I could remember I was like, I gotta be like 8 or 9. And he was going east to hear Generation play, and he wanted to take me, and my mother said, no, sir. And that's how I know about Generation. Like, he used to always come and tell me, like, he's like, yo, you got a Rasta man in a band, and blah, blah, blah. He used to explain that to me. So tell me a little bit about Generation.
Yeah, my Generation was there were some brothers, 3 brothers, Alan, Reginald, and Larry. I used to call them Legend, Solid, and Alan. And then we brought in Mapleton Lawrence Tarko. Then we brought in we didn't brought in actually Pupilo was there before me. Pupilo is a big, you know Pupilo, you know Pupilo
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Pupilo was the backsman.
Sure.
And then also we had Leon Thomas.
Okay.
So, but that was a different flavor and what the case. Yeah, I love it. And to be honest with you, going in the transition, we had I remember I was starting to realize what my calling is, what it is I had to do, and what it is I needed to do. Me and Pupilo, to be honest with you, Pupilo is one of my best friends. We've been friends since then, and we'll be friends forever. So me and Pupilo always clicked.
Yeah.
Then some opportunities came up with Generation. I think we had a gig where the 2 bands were supposed to play Generation and Bio up at Creamers Park. And a little difficult who's supposed to play and what's not what the case is. Long story short, I end up saying, okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave Generation. And then I got a call from Violators.
Yeah, Violators.
Radel James was the one up doing backs and controlling everything over the case. And so they said, well, Radel decided to go to school, and so we wanted to make sure that when he decides to leave, we have a replacement. So I was like, sure, we'll try this.
Yeah.
So Violators, and big up to Violators, well, big up to Wendell Paris Sr. I have to thank him as well. He's the one who was responsible to making me understand how the business is and how bands supposed to work and what it is to be. Wendell Paris Jr. always treated me like a brother. The family always took me in from day one. I spent a lot of time on them with the case. Actually, that's the first place where I get drunk. Don't let them tell you that. Don't tell you the difference. But I love that family, and that moved on.
Yeah.
We moved from Violators, and then, like I said, at the time, like I said, to be honest with you, I was understanding my role and what it is I wanted to do. And I don't, at that time, how I saw it fit for me to move forward with the case, because that was the decision that I was making. And it wasn't at no disrespect to nobody else, and I'm still grateful for what it is they've done for me. But I figured to myself that it was bigger than that. I have a bigger picture that I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Moving on, we went from Violators, then we went to Bio International.
Yeah.
So
The Violators, I remember when I come on Paradise Court when I switched from Violators to Vio. And I remember Toby was making sure that I not say Violators anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was like I said, that was the design. At that time we were going through some I don't really said legal processes. It was just we were going through some time and the change and emotions and what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I feel a way because like I said, I like a different kind of person. I just want to love everybody. I don't want to feel to myself that I'm going to let you down. But I still want to understand that, I have my own opinion and my own thoughts and how it is I feel it should go. So I went through a little bit of time with that with the case, but eventually, but like I said, to be honest with you, even with the changes, nothing didn't change for me. I had the same approach, the same mentality, the same everything. And all I wanted to be honest with you, all I needed was guys to say to me, say, listen, we here with you. And that would have been it. Sometimes I don't even need 20% from you, 10%. And I was going to make sure that I'm going to make sure that it's going to be taken care of.
Got you.
That always has been the mentality. That was the bio mentality. Everybody had their own role. I taking care of the music. More than likely, Toby was going to be dealing with the lyrics, with the melody, with the case. You know that Toby was the voice. Junie gonna come in with the bass lines and you handle the part. And Sean gonna come in with the guitar along with the vocal ideas and what's that. So it was a team.
Yeah.
Working together, even though it might have seemed like I had more control everything with the case. But sometimes all you need is that support team, and that made me humble to work and keep pushing up to now. It's basically the same thing.
Got you.
Up to now.
So Vio, when Vio International hit, to me you kind of like change up how you was programming, because that's when the Akai really hit the scene, at least in the way you decide to use it.
Right.
Akai. So what was the first time like when you use the Akai and you realize, wow, I could do something different than how I usually use a program?
Okay, so even before we go to the Akai, we want to talk about the RX.
Okay, go ahead.
I used to work in my father had a little grocery store. We used to sell clothes and St. Croix. So I used to work there. So I used to it wasn't much people coming in and what the case to be. So I used to work there. I used to make $100 a week. So I used to say, man, I went to my father. I said, man, Daddy, I need to buy this rhythm box for son. I really need to buy this rhythm box. They call it RX7. I checked the whole all over. I could get from Puerto Rico. At the time, it was $800. Right? So I might tell them, I'm working out for $100 a week salary.
Yeah.
My father said, okay, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to take out this amount out to your check with the KSP, and I'm going to buy it for you. My father ordered rhythm box for me. I could see it now, like I want to create. Brown box, right?
Yeah.
Covered everything. When I pop the box and I see it, with the cartridge them and the plug in, that's life. That was life. That was it. That was it. And I ain't said 20 times yet, emotion. I mean, I went like deep into the box. I probably went into places in the box that they didn't even say no, they want to go. But I really like deep every single day. When I go to work, I make sure I map, I sweep, settle the rhythm box. I did all the customer come in, I act like I'm going to deal with them. As soon as they got in the door, I'm back. At one point, I even got my partner to even rig up something in my car.
Yeah.
I could put in the box because every opportunity that I could get in this box, I wanted. Every single opportunity. Yes, so the RX is really my foundation. I think the RX trained me to use what you have. You understand? You only had limited sort of sound with the case be, so use what it is you have. So sometimes you might use it on marimba and it sounds good how it is there. But when you tune the marimba all the way down, then it comes to low, gives you a whole other feeling. And when you tune it all the way up high now, it gives you understand? So that coming from the RX. So we get to the MPC now. So my dad, he was the first one that I know of. I might have some other people and St. Croix that had it, but he was the first one that I know of to buy the MPC 3000.
Yeah.
So he carried by the studio one day and he showed me, turn on the back, show me how it work and what it is be. And I think the one thing that impressed me is when you turn it on, it didn't have any songs. It had nothing like you had there with the case be.
Yeah, you got to
You have to go and load your own and what's not. So when it's that process, I must have spent about maybe about a week learning it, understanding how it is to work with the KSB. Then I said, time for me to get my own. I ain't know how, okay?
Yes, sir. You see, man, guy in plastic.
I tell you, that is a real thing, brother. That is a real thing. That is life, trust me. That is life.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, so I end up getting mine in the process with bio. And like I said, it just changed my whole life. I think a lot of times, I wanted especially the younger programmers to understand what it is I was doing at the time. I wasn't just building rhythm. I was sampling rhythm from any possible source I could get it from. I will come to you and borrow your keyboard, and out of your keyboard, I might borrow your keyboard for 2 days, and then I might sample maybe 4 songs, but then 4 songs are very, very important. Yeah?
Got you.
And again, so I said that to say that at this point, right now where we at, just about every rhythm man around here at least have something from the Daddy Jones file. At least something. Whether it is a sequence, whether it is a song, whether it is what it is. And that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate that. That's fine. Yeah. But right now, if you go on the internet and you put in songs, my boy, we're gonna be in the trillions. You understand? So that was my expectation. I expected it to go a lot farther than what it is I created.
Yeah.
You understand that, like the rhythm alone and stuff. I understand they are probably going to be a standard in our culture, but I expected the man to take it to like blow it over the place would be. And to me, I say, we big up for what it is, but to me, I haven't feeling like it's gotten to that point.
To the level yet. Okay.
That's what. Back to the MPC. Perfect example, perfect story about the MPC is when I did the rhythm for Jungle. I remember we were playing in 2+2. And I tell them we are just starting to really do things, really start to get a flavor and get a vibe and what's not. So I remember going to Toby and I tell him, listen, like come closer to the drum. I said, Toby, listen, I have a rhythm here, right? And when I drop this rhythm here, right, the whole place gonna go crazy. So he said, yeah. So remember, Toby himself hasn't heard it yet. Nobody hasn't heard it yet with the KCD. And Toby, we out the band. He say, hey, listen, Daddy Jones say, he got a rhythm here to loose. And he said when he loses rhythm, I go crazy. So let me go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, my boy. When the rhythm drop, right? No, everybody stop dance. Nobody on the floor dancing. Everybody just stand up like, what? You got to be crazy. No, sir. What is that? How is that even possible? And to be honest with you, from that's the reaction I like to get when I drop a rhythm. You might be in the element and you'll be dancing with the case, but I rather just skin up your face and those are the emotions that I'll be looking for, because every rhythm for me is a vibe. Every rhythm talks to me. It gives me a certain type of vibe. It makes me want to dance a certain way. Make me want to drop my hand a certain way. Some of them make you want to drop your hand. Some of them make you want to bend down. Some of them want to just make you want to say again and groove. And I love that. I love that. I pay attention to that. I didn't want anything to sound the same. I don't want everything to be in a particular category. I wanted it to be just what I produce and how it is. I love it with it is.
Got you. So, but Jungle changed the game. Like completely. After that, everybody wanted to do something in that sort. Like Jungle changed it for the VI at least, and then out of the VI too, you see people, because I interview Ras Kelly from St. Kitts, and he says your stuff that motivate he to be a rhythm programmer. Ras Kelly is a keyboard rhythm man from Small Axe.
That's my boy.
Yeah. So yeah, man, Jungle changed the game, man. Like everybody just wanted to be. I don't know if they wanted to be Daddy Jones at the time, but they definitely wanted to sound like Daddy Jones at the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, so after like the success at Jungle and so, like, what was your plan moving forward to like try to keep that success?
After Jungle, honestly, we had even for me, I won't say blame this on the band, we wanted to, well, we have feel to ourselves. Now, I have feel to myself that my competition was Jamban.
Yeah.
And not necessarily because that they had a name and what the case be, but I wanted to be in the conversation when you mentioned Jamban.
Yeah.
So you know, we made some decision and we brought in started to bring in some other people. We brought in some hands, we brought in catalysts, we brought in some other elements because I figured, like I said, and playing with Jamban, you know, playing with Jamban was very intimidating.
Yeah.
Jamban would give me, they were giving us a chance, but they're giving us a chance on a string.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like Emma would tell you, like, we will set you up for you to take over with the case. We know that what it is that you're doing, and we will pull you in to make sure that you understand what it is going on. And I respected that.
Yeah.
I remember one time at Jamban and by your boat, right? And we were so hyped and so ready. So when we got on the boat, the man said, listen, you know, we gonna let you play first. Sorry, so we playing, warming up with the cases, the people coming on the boat, people done hype, you know what I mean? People saying, yeah. My partner comes, my partner say, hey, listen, you know what? We're gonna let her play, we're gonna play first, and then we're gonna take a break, we're gonna let her come back on. Yeah, I said, okay, no problem, straight up.
Ban politics.
I just said to myself, listen, Alwyn, I'm gonna have one opportunity, and forever, how long that opportunity is, we're gonna kill it. Maybe had about, maybe probably play for about 10 minutes. But I'm telling you, that was 10 minutes worth of it. Trust me. So I understood all of the tactics and what going on with the case. So like I said, we brought in hands, brought in some other players with the case. And then after that, it started to get difficult. You have more man now, more things to do, different with the case. And then some of the players then had, like I said, Tony wanted to pursue what it is he wanted to do as well. He wanted to do other things and what's not. I couldn't vex you for doing that with the case because I know what my calling is with the case. Then Juni, I got the offer for Jamban. So we just started to break up. One thing I must say, Toby and Sean had always stuck with me. Especially Toby. Toby always been there with me with the case. I mean, when we changed over with Mario, we are last Tony, so we end up, Juni brother actually were playing bass with us, Peter. He's still jumping for me up to now with the case. So I said, this is relationship. This isn't friendship.
Yeah. Like family.
Over time. Brought in Kilo from St. John and St. Thomas to sing with the KSB. We brought in Nikki Brooks and you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get that female void. I wanted to change things. It's not something, it's not about being like everybody else. It's just doing it how it is that you do it. And I want you people to appreciate that. And I realized that we didn't have the voice of Tony, which people recognize as a voice for value, what the case is. So we had to try to manipulate it in a different way.
Yeah, definitely.
So we went through that for that season, and like I said, it was just getting harder and harder. The more we play, the more we realized that people wanted to hear Tony. People wanted to realize that it just wasn't the same anymore. So at that time, Juni was basically settling with Jamban. And then Juni gave me the call and said, yo, he's not talking about you, he's man thinking about bringing you in. So think about it. If you're serious, let the man know. So I mean, to be honest, I could have answered you at the spot. I mean, this is Jamban, Alwyn Baptiste to come and play with them. I could have answered you. You know, you gotta try and play like Jamban. You know what I mean? But them Friday called me, said, listen, I'm interested in putting a band together. He really sold me very, very well. I mean, I admire what it is I do. He studied me for a long time. He see my potential and what the case be. He explained to me where it is he wanted to go with Jamban. He wanted to change the atmosphere and the feel of it.
Yeah.
I was like, good. Man said, okay, you send me a ticket and come St. Thomas. We had a meeting, a long meeting with the KSB, very productive meeting.
Yeah.
I think the only thing about that meeting or that day that had really set aside a lot of things for me is when we were discussing about how it is we were going to deal with things. So when I come in from in charge of being over, to come into another organization, so I was worried about how it is we deal with that.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's the part that humbled me because Friday said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take everything off of the top, pay the bills in with the PSP, and then we're going to divide everything even.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I mean, this is Friday talking to you. This is Friday.
Exactly.
Friday. I have Kelly there. I have these people that inspired me so much musically with the case. So I feel like I just like a little child with these man. So that there just humbled me, blew my mind. And from the discussion, I always Friday always let me be free.
Yeah.
Try to hold me back from being anything that I was with the case. Even though I know it was completely different to anything that he has ever done. Especially been working with Boots and like I said with Boots.
Yeah, you working with legends.
Arranger, as far as especially with Hans and especially with rhythm. And as much as
Boots, R.I.P. to Boots.
Brother, rest in peace, Boots. Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Friday too.
Even as far as the people that call me like the goat and what the case, which I really and truly don't like the word goat. Every time I hear goat, it cringe me. And if you decide to say to yourself that you feel to yourself like I'm the greatest of all time, I would rather you spend it out. I don't want to call nobody no goat. I will never have to be calling nobody no goat with the case. But Boots and Phone Gums and then guy was 17 plus. These are the pioneers of it. These are the conversations that we meet. These is the man that had these backs and did it. I just did it my way.
Correct.
But this is the man. I didn't buy with the rhythm man. So like, oh, this is the man that set the pace for me to do that. You know. Yeah. And there's one rhythm. I used to have got a chance when the last time, but one rhythm the last rhythm of me and Boots program. And I would always, and that's the name of it. The name of the rhythm said Boots and Al. And I would always respect that one rhythm there. I would always respect that. Always respect that. So enough to them, especially for like man for 17 plus. As a little child, I got introduced to the man, see how they walk, watch the man do this DDD one, take the demo sample that comes with it and turn it into a soca beat. That got me to make Forever Love and all those things. That's what I could hear what it is that you're doing, and I could take my rhythm and put it under it and spit it, man. What?
Let me ask you this though: when you went jam band, what was the reactions of the true Vio fans and the true jam band fans? Because I'll tell you this, me personally, right? Mm-hmm. I was in New York. I see Junie playing bass with jam band. I like, that don't look right. You know what I mean? I tell you, I was a big Vio fan from day one. And I'm like, what? That don't look right. Next thing I see you playing, I say, oh, that didn't look right to me. But the sound was crazy. Like once again, you change up your sound, you start playing faster. But let me go back to that. How did Vio fans react and the jam band fans react?
Vio fans wasn't so bad because most of Vio fans was still jam band fans. Back then, it wasn't so much segregated like it is now.
Correct.
We were able to like jam band and like Vio at the same time. What it is. Now we make it. If I like Poison, I ain't like Shoka.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So at that time, then, even though it was a competition to make sure that you stay relevant as to what is going on. And and the promoters and they saw what was going on with Vio as well. They would always put jam band, but that's out of respect. You know what I mean? I coming up, I trying to get to where it is. As long as you giving me the chance, I'm gonna be humble to it. So the fans, it wasn't hard as far as that transition. I think a lot of the fans, even for a lot of my fans that you don't find them, definitely I love it with the case. I think a lot of them really wanted to hear back Tony voice and what's not with the case. But after the first jam band album and what the case, that was that. It was like, you, eh? We walking with you, we rolling with you and what's that. So that was kind of cool, especially the first jam band album. That was crazy. That was
crazy. You really brought something to the table. They were lacking. They jam band was always that slow, not slow, but slower than in like 145, 150, and that was the fast tempo you check. And then you come and I remember the first time hearing you play with jam band, I was like, this man ain't playing, this man change up again, bring a different speed and everything.
Up the road.
But that was your mindset to do that. I just so happened that you just start playing like that because you heard the conversation y'all had with Friday.
That was one of it. And then two, like I said, when you either play, everything for me is about vibe. I don't know how else to explain it. I walk off of pure vibes, and vibes that just move me and move me in a certain way. So like playing with jam band, I know like Alwyn, you have a responsibility now. You have to protect this jam band era with the case be, which is at the time I figured to myself was bigger than me.
Yeah.
But at the same bit, every chance you get, you gotta present yourself and let people know who you is at the same bit. So I will go in between that, you know. And at one point, I remember at one point when I was starting to do it like a lot. I was starting to feel myself, you know. So a lot of times Friday was saying, okay, you know what, Jones, you know, do your thing, you know what I mean? And then he will come back in. But a lot of times, you know, I was starting to like take it over, you know what I mean? And I remember one time we had a meeting, I even called him, one of the guys and said, yeah, you Jones always coming with these disco rhythm, man. And yeah, I found it funny as well, but it didn't change my thinking. You understand? Because like I said, I'm still trying to present myself, and I figured to myself, Jamban was never going to be mine.
Yeah.
You understand? I was there walking at what the case to be, but at some point, I am going to get to what it is Daddy Jones wanted to get to.
Gotcha.
So it was just like working for a company, and I just
big man thing. Big man thing.
To the point it's time for me to move on. Simple. But I always respect that German, especially that German era. I learned a whole lot, especially from Friday, one lyrical, because I have never been a lyrical person.
Yeah.
I've written before, but I've never been a lyrical person because that wasn't me. I've written because I had to, because what it is, the time is, and sometimes I dealing with time, and sometimes if I'm in emotion and I can't get what it is I want, then I will write it. I did a lot of writing for Panther Vibes. Because when I do get to Panther Vibes, when I do get to Umbrella, it was like so much love and so much surrounding. I always had somebody around me. I always had somebody there to inspire me. Even if it is a day, nothing to do with music, they're just behind me listening, but they're listening and they bopping their head. And just bopping your head when I walk in, man, you're driving me crazy. I mean, you love it. Bopping your foot, oh my gosh, you got it.
But I'm gonna go back to the jam band for a little while. The after Friday pass and then y'all had Panther. How did that happen?
Be honest with you, I wasn't even sure who it is. Let me think hard. Yes, we had a meeting. We had a meeting at Victor's hideout. And I was, we were deciding what will be the next move. And it was a very interesting meeting. Actually, I'm glad that you brought that question, because that's one of the meetings that changed things for me as well.
Yeah.
In the meeting, we were deciding, well, what it is we're going to do now. What's going to be the next step, for the guy with the case to be. And then somebody said, well, you know what? Let we bring in Panther. So I was like, yeah, we bring in Panther. Yeah. All I knew for Panther is that I saw him one time, and when I saw Panther, I think he was singing with Better Band. I think it was in Borgangada, walking the club, and I saw this man on the stage with the mic in his hand and his drink, and I just saw power, and like he even had to open his mouth. Like all attention is on him. This is what it is we see. This is even before he started talking.
Yeah.
And when he said, "Yo," I said, well, so that was an easy transition for me with the case to be. So we said, okay, bam, bringing in Panther, and Panther was completely different to anything else that I ever worked with, and so it was easy. And Panther pulled me on the side and he said, "Listen, Jones, watch out. I know I come here from a different place with the case here, but I need you here to work with me and make sure that you take care of me with son." And that's how the relationship came. If Panther was still coming to St. Thomas, I think we'd have been a different place right about now, to be honest with you. I believe like he had everything else he had just that look, and he had that vibe, and he just brought it. And it wasn't to compare to Friday.
Yeah.
And that was important to me. Because nothing else in this life is going to be able to compare to Friday. The person ain't buying it. Yeah. And so we just have to put him in that relevant with the case. But like I said, the same thing, that's like Kylo. You know, I have to put Kylo in a relevant. You have to respect him for what it is that he was doing at the time. I respect them. For me, I thought the next thing to Friday to me was going to be Shah. That was me thinking. Before I thought we were going to lift up Shah and put Shah in a place with the case to be. Went a different way, and I said we as the boys, and that's what I said about the case. We have but enough love and respect to Shah as well. I believe that talented brother, he's a humble dude, he got a big heart. So all these, and then like I said, the relationship with Panther, that just grew into we getting down to Angola. That go into Daddy Jones presents doing my own album with the case. They did poker. Like I said, from the day one coming to Angola, believe I tell you, I felt like I was trying to call my father. And my father, listen, sure. I've been to Angola sometime when I creating me over the case. Maybe I will pass it through. Maybe I stop through sometime over the case. Because it was just a lot of love for Angola.
A lot of love, yeah. Because when you pop up on the scene with PVA, the vibe, like I talking about the music you produce over there, it just seemed like a good cohesion. Like you seem like you are belong there in a sense. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes. It was a natural thing, and
yeah.
At the time, at the time, even Angola was going through the changes. There lost some good musicians with the KSB. And to me, one time I met a guy, I think his name is Jordy, if I'm mistaken. I met him in Angola, on Angola Day. And he pulled me aside and we had a long conversation. And he said, Jones, you might not think about it this way, but he said that, you came and you changed Angola music. And when he said it, at first, I didn't really understand what it is he was trying to get at with the case. Mm-hmm. So I thought he was being, like one of them other band fans with the case, or being negative. But he said, no, Angola has a type of music now because you influenced us to do that. Everything else we was trying to be like somebody else, or you know what I'm saying? But you come out and just open the doors and say, well, listen, you know what? Angola have, and even though it's Daddy Jones, but we still had a way of doing things.
Yeah.
On the vibes, wet fit, liquor. This is classic
tunes. Like, let me ask you this though. Because I ain't in the VI, but so do the Angola music that you did have the same effect that the music you did in St. Croix and St. Thomas in the VI?
No.
Okay.
No. They will listen to it. They won't approach it like how Angolans approach it.
Gotcha.
Let's come back to the same thing. How cultures is. Right? Come back to the same. I understand. Not a perfect example again. Petition and petition music. Right? Mm-hmm. I have been in a house arguing about Sugar Band and Small Axe, and they cussing to the tip of their lungs with the case. 80% of them ain't going to the jam. I know to this is that they believe in what it is. They believe in this is our music. And to me, I have fought long for the Virgin Islands to understand that what it is we do it for our. This is our own. If it is I don't like it, come to me and tell me, listen, Alwyn, I say, you know what, I'm moving too fast, man. Or come to me, let me know where the case, but this is for IO. Trust me, every business around here, we will do this for free. And anyone that want to debate me, come and tell me. We will do this for free just to see the look on people's faces and how when they see the music come on and when they're in the jam and their favorite beat come on, just to see that, we will do that. So a lot of what we do is for IO. So if I feel like, listen, or we need to do this, or we need to do that with the case, help us out, let us know. But believe I tell you, I know this movement, especially now, I could feel where it is. This movement will just take completely out. I think in future time to come, the Small Island Museum is going to own the market.
It's starting to elevate. I don't know if you realize, but hey, you just said it. It's starting to elevate, brother. It is everybody taking notice of it now. Trust me. I think the one thing though that we need to pay attention to is the sound. I mean, the professional sound as far as the mixing, mastering, that part, and making sure that we don't stick to the same topics. Try not to stay to that too much.
I gonna lie with you. I have fought with the song for just about 20 years. I don't know to myself to be an engineer and what's not. I have fought with the song because what happened with the songs is that there are so many elements in the song that makes it happen that when you try to get everything to squeeze into there, and then still try to be proper of these frequencies and what the case be, believe me, it'll be a task on its own. And then now, even when we have a project that we feel good of and we send it to somebody else that's in another genre or listen to something else and let it master with it, the first thing they do is take out the same stuff that we need to keep the energy. You understand?
Yeah, so, to give our soul,
I fight it with that. I fight it with different engineers. We're having this conversation with the KSB. I'm telling them what it is I want, what it is I expect out of it. But to me, right about now, I think I want the feel out of it. So if it is that take out all the keyboards them so the rhythm could feel itself and then the vocals could present themselves, then we'll work on that. Number one. And then number two, like I said, vocal content. I don't know how else we're gonna set work up again. I don't know how else we're gonna set work up. Or
listen.
I don't know how else we're gonna say.
Nothing wrong with saying walk up, but to me, the problem is we can't just dwell on that. Yeah, we like to see it in the club. It's awesome. Everybody wants to see a girl walk up. No problem with that.
Tell me a story.
We have to remember there's a bigger picture to music too. That's all.
Right. I agree. I think we and seeing things happening too. Some of the writers, because for me, right, and I always say the baddest rhythm I could make is as good as what the person singing it.
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
That's what you see. I have a good perfect example is Let's Go Crazy, Panther Vibes.
Yeah.
And then now Pumper.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear the two songs now, right? This is two songs, two same rhythm, you know.
Yeah.
His approach, but then when you hear, you understand what I mean? So
yeah, man.
Totally. A rhythm is as good as what you say that you sing on it. You understand?
Totally.
Keep that in mind. Play your topics. Listen to country music. Listen to how they. I love country music. I love their story. They will tell you stories. They will make you feel. They will make you want to cry, laugh, and everything in the same song. And still tell you what it is they had for breakfast. I love that type of writing. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's to inspire the writers to get to that point.
So let me ask you this: since we're talking about like writing and production at this time, I'm 90% sure, but you produce Crashing Your Bumper for Tian, right?
Yes, I did.
That was something I don't think nobody paid attention to. Like it became a hit, but I don't think they put it together that was you, and you were outside the box a little bit. Like how you came across to do that.
To be honest, the good, very quick question again. I got a call from a partner from Virgin Ghana, Kitty. Kitty said, yes, we're working on a project for TM with the KSB, and we need a rhythm. I think at the time I was actually traveling to England actually with Panda Vibes. We had a 2-week tour, and to be honest with you, Crash is all rhythm box. I didn't play any keyboards on Crash, any at all. Everything you hear on Crash was the drum machine. So all the keyboard lines, everything I did on a drum machine. So I sent it to Kitty with the KSB. Kitty said, boy, the man love it. We gave it with the KSB. But to be honest with you, I was under their production. It wasn't that direct to me.
I get it. Mm-hmm.
So every time I listen to Crash, I just smile. I just smile because that's exactly what it is. My approach to the drum machine was even up to now. But right now, I don't. I mean, you love Logic and you love all these other stuff. You got to freedom to that. But for me to get a real natural idea, a real feel and rhythm, I gotta go on the box. I gotta go on the box.
Yeah. Come on. That's where you start with. So I guess that's your comfort zone, you know.
That's my comfort zone. That's my start point.
Yeah. So let me ask you, like how did the idea for DJ ATC started? How we got to that?
Okay, DJ ATC, good partner of mine from St. Thomas. His name is Ron Pop. I said that at that time, Extortion, I broken up with the KSB. Me and Pumper had done start to do our things with Daddy Jones and when Daddy Jones presents and with the KSB. So he said, man, I want to do a jam where I want you to back up Pumper. And we put together a band and do that. So I was like, you know what? Let me try. Let me see what it is we could do. So we started to contact. I think our contact at the time, Mosiah was supposed to play bass. We wanted to keep the band small, what the case be. I'm not sure if we had a true Sean. I think we did. And then we brought in Peter. So back and forth now with him though, because we need to get this thing a name.
Yeah.
So the person I is with the case be, I for sure anyone know that he knows inside of it. We started with all kind of names, like we going back and forth, and he come to me and he said, my son Alwyn, watch out. you have to put your name in it. If you don't put your name in it with the KCB, it's not gonna be a sellable product. You have to.
Yeah,
We can
I think he was right.
We're gonna start it. You know what? It's okay. We could change it afterwards. We'll cut it that it Jones and the crew. And he said, man, I said, you know what? Okay, we're running with it.
Yeah.
That's that. So Ropa, if you're listening with the KSB, hats off to you again. You're the one that helped me project that name and with the KSB. And then especially coming to the acronym, the DJATC.
Yeah.
And you know, after what we begged to the time when we were coming to the closing of that segment, even though we ain't really close, we just kind of figuring out where it is the next process or what it is we want to do with it right now. Right now, it's kind of like open for all, you know, really ban, like other than the big band, the spectrum and the boost, that's not what it is. And I'm hoping that we get back to that. I ain't knocking the artist thing, but the artist thing is what the artist thing is. We grew up on the band life. Band operate, you know what I mean? Not everybody trying to come out and be an artist. But after a while, to be honest, when you go to the dance, it just sounds like everything is going at the same pace.
Yeah.
You got a band now, you play a little zouk. If you feel like you're jumping into a little reggae with the KSB, but you have the element. You said that you have to all focus on the one artist. So hopefully that we get back to that point just to make sure that we keep that relevant. The artist thing, people do it at your own time. People it is you do with the KSB, but I really want to see the band elements, especially for the boy, when I start to come back.
Well, let me ask you this then, because a lot of people saying that the band life is almost going to be obsolete because of the fact that the DJs are so much more in demand right now because of the ability to move around easy, the cheaper costs, and then not only the cheaper costs, the ability to kind of do the band thing because the artists them show up and then the band, the DJ have a live that have an instrumental type live and then they go. So what do you think about that?
I like I said, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna be straight, me myself cut no corners. That's a trend.
Okay.
That's a trend, but that's not going to be what it is, the standard of what it is we know it to be. And I understand trends. And I understand the stuff them that we need to get past and understand. I understand when it's a fad and everybody rolling with the case. But then when you look at the substance part about it with the case, when you look at that jam band, it always have to be that jam band, it always have to be that imagery, and I always need them violated. You always need that element with the case to support the culture. And the culture, I mean, even though the culture just is going to evolve into other things with the case, we are definitely going to need those elements. So I ain't knocking it. That's the trend. That's everybody moving. But honestly, you can't get me to go hard and support that like that. Give me a guitar man, buddy. Give me a drummer, buddy. Give me a keyboard man. Let me hear a little mistake now and again or something. Or let me hear the power shot out. Let me go through that moment. I ain't just seeing you as an artist up there with the case. I mean, like I said, it works for who it works for. Don't get me wrong. I ain't knocking it, But for me, I want to see musicians. I want to see. I love rock music. I want to see Dave Matthews up there with he said with the game. I want to see Dave Matthews with Carter. I want to see boy. I want Toby. I want to see everybody there. I want to see that. You know what I mean? So I ain't trying to see one artist up there saying no one will be there.
So let me ask you, when DJ ATC had super success, what was the plan for the band as far as continue your band, your side as Daddy Jones? What was your plan with it?
We actually, the DJ ATC, the honest, I've been in the moment. I really live a lot of DJs in the moment, and it was moving so fast. Things was really rolling good with the KCB.
Yeah.
And I living in the moment. I wasn't really paying attention to Pumpa's growth and where it is he was excelling to be with the KCB. You understand? So, and like I said, everything that I do was to make sure that I guarantee that was to help him do that with the KCB. When you want somebody break away with the KCB, as a human being, you must feel away. We had someone once with the KCB. He said we see the other side with the KCB, but that was that. We said that at that point with the KCB, and me and Pumpa remain friends up until now. We're going to remain friends. They're not going to be able to change that. So I went to my feeling with the KSB, said what he had said, he moved on. He went crazy in promoting himself. Went crazy. He put himself in any position that he could possibly be in to the point that he is now. So I'm coming to that as well. At the same time, I got other artists that I try to get to the same position, you know what I mean? I got Jamal, I tried to put in the same position. I got Shamal, I got tried to put in the same. I got JJ, I tried to put in the same position. I got A+, I got Tafari, I get, you understand? So, once I move on with the case to be, okay, next, this other unit, there we go, we keep moving. That was that.
That was that, yeah.